Welcome everyone. This is the new map pool review starting on August 20th. This is the first map. I'm not sure how many maps are added. Let me check. So there's Disco Bloodbath LE. That's an interesting name. There's Ephemeron LE. There's Triton LE and Winter's Gate LE. Wait, there's 5 new maps and World of Sleepers. Wait, there's 5 new maps? Damn, girl. Okay, so what do we have? 2-player map. Reapers cannot jump there. So there's no place to jump. Can they jump here? Yep, okay, so Reapers can jump here. Caution, it even says. Okay, great. So what do we see? It's a 2-player map, so 1 player spawns there. No watchtowers in this map. Let's see. I'm not gonna obviously play a match in this game, or I'm not gonna play against a real opponent. I just want to do the map preview, check what's going on. So there is low ground expansion and also a low ground kind of ramp leading outside. Now this is good news for Protoss against Zerg. Zerg will have hard time all-inning up the ramp, so that's great for, you know, if you're a Protoss player. The Reaper, well, not so great news for Terran, because the only place that Reaper can come in is here, and Protoss will wall this off. So you're gonna have very hard time scouting Protoss with Reapers on this map. Now third, looks like it has some rocks over here that you can destroy and open it up. No space behind the bases. There's some space here, but there's no airspace behind the main mineral line, the natural mineral line, and the third mineral line. So this is very, very bad for Terran. If you're a Terran player or a Protoss player, this is not great. If you're Zerg, this is great. This is also potential third, but this one is way too open. Because this one, you know, there's this passage that you can kind of wall off really quickly. You can destroy these rocks if you're attacking into the third. But if you take this as a third, I mean, if they destroy these 2 rocks, it's extremely, extremely open. So I would definitely suggest to take this base either as a 4th or maybe even 5th. Now in TVT, obviously, I think you should probably take this one, although you can get sieged up from here. So I think no matter what race you play, you're probably not going to be taking this as your third, because Terran can siege you up from this location with siege tanks. So you will probably be expanding in this direction, and maybe even getting this one as your 4th base, and then getting this one much, much later. So other than that, I mean, there's a base here that you can expand to later that kind of covers your main base. This map is very susceptible to prisms, to overlord drops, to doom drops, because it's very easy to, you know, have your army here and then just go right in the main base. So there's probably going to be a lot of doom drops on this map. Again, Liberator harassment, Banshee harassment, Medevac harassment. As far as mineral lines go, or oracles, or whatever else, is not going to be too great. Mutas are not going to be great on this map. As far as army movements, what do we have? I mean, pretty kind of straightforward. Nothing really special, unless I'm missing something. If there's some special features in the map, by the way, guys, let me know. I might miss it, but yeah, there's nothing special on this map. Spaces between the bases are very, very open, which is something that Zerg players would love. I personally really like these kinds of corner bases with like little ramps going into them. There's some smoke here that you can hide in. But yeah, other than that, it's a very small map. It's not a big map. If you see, this is from base to base. It doesn't seem like that big of a map. But then again, you're not going straight through the middle. You have to kind of curve around these spots. So, you know, there's that. This is a cute place to put your Widow Mines in. Terrans will definitely be putting Widow Mines in this. But yeah, that's it. I mean, what do I give this map? I'll give it it's average. I'll give it a 2.5. You know, there's nothing that screams to me that it's amazing. There's nothing that's bad about it. It's a map, right? That's a bugged doodad. Oh, really? well, there you go. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. So 2.5 is like average, not bad, not good. Obviously more than 2.5 is good, and under 2.5 I don't like the map. So there's a first map. Now the second one, okay, another 2-player map. I wonder if we're gonna have any 3 or 4-player maps. I feel like we didn't have any of those in a while. Okay, second map. How do you read this? Ephemeron? I guess that's how. Let's see this one. Oh my god. Well, I can say I like the tile set. Tile set gets another extra mark. So if this is a 2.5, it's a 3.5. This map looks terrible? What do you mean, dude? I mean, this part looks a little... The colors look a little weird. But I really like that it's bright. It's nice looking. I like that. I like that in a map. So again, no airspace. I think maybe you can... No, I think Queens will be able to attack the unit hiding there.
Go ahead.
Let's see, what do we have? This is your natural base. This is the Reaper spot for jump in, and also this spot right here. So it's already better if you're a Terran player compared to the previous map for Reapers against Zergs and Protoss. Natural, again, no spots for your Liberators. I mean, yeah, you can put them here, but, you know, Queens and Stalkers and Marines will be able to shoot at those units. I don't really like that. No matter what race you play, well, against if you're Zerg, you're pretty happy about that. But if you're Protoss or Terran, you're probably not too happy about it. So there's some potential with drops into the natural, because there's this airspace right here that you can AFK drops right there. Your third is this one. There's no option between the third. So a lot of the maps these days have like 2 options. You can expand to this or this. This one is pretty straightforward, and well, there's only one possible third. So this map actually is bad for Zerg, from what I can see. This map is bad for Zerg straight away. I just realized. The third map, not only you don't have a choice, which is already bad for Zerg, because if they pylon block one of your hatcheries, I mean, where are you going to expand, right? Not only that, the third is so far away from your natural. Look at that distance. It's so far away. So, if you're Terran or Protoss, listen to me now, kids. Make a pylon on it or engineering bay every single game. Here. And the Zerg will be very screwed. I think Zergs will veto this map in pro play. They're not going to be able to get a third base till like link speed comes in, which is extremely late. There's honestly no other place you can expand to. I mean, look, this is so far away, this is so far away. So this is good. This is going to be a very bad map for Zerg, in my humble opinion. Also, these little spaces here, this is not something that Zerg likes. These narrow chokes. Like, this is one force field. Is it one force field? I think it is one force. If you place it here, you should wall this. Maybe not. I think it is, but maybe... I think it actually walls off roaches and hydras, but not links. So, initially, the base, the way that base layout is, it looks pretty good for Zerg. But upon further investigation, we see that the third is going to be a very, 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 very bad point for Zerg. What else? You can kind of drop into the main, but again, they can shoot you from here. Now, the one thing that's good for Zerg is there is no ramp leading into the natural like the previous map. So if you're Protoss and if you wall off here, Zerg will have much easier time all-inning you than if you have a ramp going into your natural, which is obviously, you know, it's harder to push through. So there's that.
Add-on complete.
I mean, I don't really see anyone play mech here either. The bases are so far apart from one another. Like, if you're playing mech, no matter what the matchup is, if you take these 3 bases, I mean, what do you take as a fourth? This? But look how far away that's from your natural and from all the droppable places. I feel like bio and heavy gateway pro style will be extremely good on this map. But you're not gonna be able to kind of expand slowly and play very camp-oriented style. Although this expo is pretty cool because you can take it and then like put a cannons or planetary here and then defend all three sides from here. This is an interesting map. This is an interesting map and will definitely give different kinds of games. I don't know, it's probably not going to be balanced for Zergs. I don't know how it will play out in TVP exactly. But I do think that it's probably better for Terran. Probably best for Terran compared to Protoss and Zerg. Because Protoss also doesn't want to have the third that far away. While Terran doesn't really care because you're the one that's, you know, putting on the pressure. So I'm going to give this map, because it's different and it will produce different kinds of games compared to the previous map where it's pretty standard. I'm going to give this one a 3.5. You know, I'd give it a 3, but because of the terrain, I'll give it a 0.5 as well. I think it's pretty looking, it's bright, and I just like grass tile sets in StarCraft II. Although I don't like the main base, it looks bad. Alright, yeah, ZVZ here with Link Bane is going to be also yikes. Okay, next map is Triton. LE. Is this snow map? It's like a space snow map. Oh, it is a snow map. Yeah, snow map. Triton? Oh, that doesn't sound great. Just because the other maps are terrible doesn't make this bright? Well, it kind of does. Because you're playing on 7 maps, so if every other map is dark and one is bright, then that one's bright.
More minerals for that.
Or brighter, at least. Okay. Now, I don't like snow maps. I've said this many, many times. I don't like snow maps. I think they're annoying to play on. But this snow map looks nice. It's not overwhelming amount of snow. It's not really snow map. It's like ice map, I would say. You can see that there's this space station kind of tile set. But then you also have this snow, but it's more like ice. And then when you move on to the low ground, this is ice. So aesthetically, it's a very pleasing map, I would say. And again, it's not dark. It's well lit, if you want to say that. So I like the tile set on this map. The first map has tile set that's just boring, in my opinion. There's nothing special about it. So I like this tile set. It's good. It's probably my favorite out of the 3. Now, main base has space behind the main, so Terrans and Protoss is probably happy about that. There's some space here, but not really. Queens and Stalkers will be able to shoot you from here, as well as Marines and Cyclones. Main base is very droppable, so Protosses are gonna have a little bit of a hard time defending this, because, I mean, you can drop here. You can pretty much go like all the way up to here before you start getting shot. And then you can drop behind the mineral line, you can drop through here. So TVP, I can imagine, will be pretty hard for Protoss on this map because of Doom drops. Now, another thing that I see straight away, check this out. If you're a Terran player, oh, this is gonna be hot. So, your third base, let me see. If you're Zerg, you probably don't want to take this as a third. The reason, by the way, I want to explain something. A lot of people, I think, maybe don't know. So on a lot of maps, Zergs almost never take this third, like the one that's in between their natural and main. And the reason for that is, if you take that one, if the Terran has a Hellion drop, a battle cruiser, Banshee, or Protoss has Oracle, they can go in here, harass the main, and then harass the third, and then harass the main, and kind of go back and forth. And there's nothing Zerg can do about it. But if Zerg takes this third, if an Oracle goes there, it can't go quickly into the natural or main. It has to go all the way around. So that's why Zergs usually take these bases, kind of farther away from their main. Now, because this will be the third to take, which is very open, so this is something that Zerg wants, the Zerg will definitely be taking this one. If you're Terran or Protoss, you can push through here, siege up your tanks right here, maybe even build bunkers right here, and then drop in the main, and siege tanks will be able to reach the ramp. So this is a spot that Terrans can abuse with siege tanks against Protoss and against Zerg. And in TVT, this spot will be seeing a lot of positional abuse. I don't think you can reach gas from here to here, and it seems very far. So this is something that you need to be very, very worried about. If you're Zerg, you probably want to be straight and creep there so you can engage that easier. Because if Terran builds like 2 bunkers and then drops here with Marines and then stims, your main base is dead. So this part of the map, or so far, looks pretty good for Terran. I think as a Terran, you're probably actually going to take this base, to be honest, because this one is a little bit far away and it's very, very open. And maybe I would even say same for Protoss in PvZ. You're probably going to be taking this one, because this one is too open to take against Zerg. After that, there's these high ground expansions, which are very good for Terran and Protoss, not so much for Zerg.
Thanks for your good work.
The reason why Terrans and Protosses love these kinds of expansions, because you can force fill this off, you can siege up tanks, and having high ground vision is obviously very, very good. On the other side, there is quite a lot of counterattack paths that Zergs can take and abuse. And there's a lot of expansions, which is obviously something that, you know, Zerg players like. All the paths that I see, attack paths, are very open. So even though you have this positional advantage of like high ground, it's very open. Like this ramp is gigantic. And you can even open up the ones that are kind of small, you can even open them up even more. So I think this is going to be an interesting map to see how it plays out, because I think it's definitely good for Zerg the later the game goes because of so many attack paths. But early game is going to be interesting if Zerg can kind of hold off the aggression from Terran and Protoss. Because also you can actually War Prism here and force fill the ramp and just all in Zerg. So we'll see how it plays out. Overall, oh, there's rocks here too that you can destroy. Overall, I would say it's good for Terran for Doom drops and 2 base timing all-ins, but I think the longer the game goes, the map opens up more and more, which is pretty bad for Terran, pretty good for Zerg, and for Protoss it depends what the matchup is. So I guess we'll have to see how it plays out and, you know, what people figure out and so on. I would probably give this map a 4 because it's different. The place where you can siege up tanks to the main is different. The main base is very open. I do think it's probably the worst map for Protoss, and this is something that Protoss players are probably going to veto. I don't think that Protosses are going to play this map. Taking the third here is going to be extremely hard against Zerg, and also taking a third against Terran is going to be hard because of Doom drops. So, sorry Protoss players, but we'll see. But yeah, probably the map I like the most so far. Winter's Gate. We actually have 2 winter maps. Let's see what else we got. We got 2 more maps. Wait, what maps are they taking out? I didn't even see. Did they say? No, they don't say. Oh wait, they do. So they're keeping Acropolis and Thunderbird. Those are 2 maps that are staying. And then we're getting 5 new maps. So I think we've always had 4 new maps and 3 maps were staying. But now they're keeping only 2. I think this is the first time we're having 5 new maps. Whoa! What is this? The probes are looking dank, if I may say so.
Can't warp that in.
Them glows. That's right.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
I mean, at least the probes look pretty. You have to make probes pretty to make up for this garbage. That's cool as well. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. That's not cool. Okay, guys, this is very disappointing. So we've had a map that's probably the most hated map in the current map pool, which is the Turbo Cruise. Because of the slow zones. And when I discussed that map pool, I said I don't mind the slow zones necessarily, but I don't like them just slapped everywhere. And I feel like they slapped even more inhibitor zone generators. They put even more on this map. I mean, look how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the map. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. Like, the thing is, I like this one, right? I like this one. And I would like if there's one here, right? Or one here, or one here, whatever. But why one here, two here, and then like two here? It's too many. Like, position them better and have less of them. I don't like when they just slap a lot of them, right? They don't know where to position, so they just slap a lot of them. I don't like that. But anyway, let's look. Main base, no dead airspace behind bases. This is good for Zerg. There's the slow zones, so that obviously slows down any medevacs and oracles. So it kind of helps a little bit against that because the main base is quite exposed. So again, I wouldn't mind one, but having two is a little yikes. What else? Ooh, there's gonna be some plays here maybe with siege tanks. You can siege this gas at least. And you can drop some mariners here and push through there. But if you're playing against Zerg, they're probably gonna be taking this base as a third. So it probably won't come in effect. But if you're playing TVP, you could probably do some kind of weird fast push. But then again, you're only gonna deny one gas. So I don't know if that's really worth. If you're Terran, I mean, this is probably the best for Terran, this map. You can wall this off extremely fast, you know, with a couple of depots, and then take this as a third, and there's no Protoss or Zerg that are going to engage you through that. Like, that would be insane if they do that. So the only path you can get attacked from is this little ramp. So this map is going to be very good for mech. Very, very good for mech against both Protoss and Zerg. There's a lot of these map things that you can abuse and siege up your tanks like right behind them so that enemy has to go through them. Zergs will definitely avoid taking this base for as long as possible because even if they take this as a fourth, Terran can push through here or here and Zerg will have to engage through the slow zones. And the same goes for Protoss. Protosses are not going to be taking this as a third, they're going to be taking this one and probably this as a fourth. So if you're a Terran player, definitely push straight through the middle. If you're Protoss against Zerg, also push through the middle. And if you're Zerg, you're going to have to be very worried. Now, Turbo Cruise, the map we have right now with these slow zones, is a map that's not liked at all by the Zergs. So I don't think anything will change with this one. They will probably veto it along with the other map that I already forgot what it's called. But so far, I would say this map pool is probably looking the best for Terran, to be honest. It's looking very good for Terran. For Protoss, I would say it depends on the matchup, and for the Zerg, I would say definitely they got short end of the stick with this one. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty. It has these nice doodads, you know, like Amon and like the red stuff and, you know, whatever. There's some snow, but not too much. So aesthetically, it's a pretty map. It's not bad. Again, I do like this one, but I don't like these ones in the middle. I would like to see like one in the middle, like right here. One here, maybe one on the side of each main base, and that's it. But we'll see. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Zerg pro players playing this map though. If I got PvZ on this map, I'll just leave. I don't think it's that bad for Protoss. I think it's very easy for Protoss to take a third because you can wall off that ramp on your going into your natural with like 3 gates, and then the same thing happens. You take your third on in between your main and the natural position. The Zerg is not gonna push through the slow field, and then you only defend the bottom side, which you can wall off. World of Sleepers is the last map. I don't know what to give that map. 3 entrances into third? No, there's 2 entrances. What are you talking about? Give it a 1 out of 5? I mean, I don't know what to give it, to be honest. Like, I'll enjoy playing on it, but if I was competing and I was Zerg, I'd be salty. But if I was Terran, I'd be very happy. World of Sleepers. So this is like a resident sleeper map. Let's see what it's all about. 3+ the slow zone? No, there's no... There's no... Did I miss a path? There's no 3 paths into the third. There's 2 paths. The slow zone and the bottom left side. Is my stream lagging, by the way? I'm dropping some frames. Alright. Okay, I'ma just say it right now. I'm gonna veto this map. If I was a Terran or Protoss, I would veto this straight away. Who the fuck is gonna play this map? This map is gigantic. Yeah, if I'm playing against Zerg, if I'm playing against Zerg, I'm not gonna play this map. This map is gigantic. Holy. And it's so open. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these expos. Jesus Christ. Look at the attack paths. Well, we found the Zerg map.
Go ahead.
There you go. I feel small on this map. Yeah, Thor feels like a peanut on this map. Like a small little peanut. Like, this is insane. Oh my god. And this as well. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of ZVZ. You know, you know what? I'm gonna veto this map actually, even though I'm random. Because every Terran or Protoss are gonna veto this map. So the only matchup you're gonna be getting on this map is Zerg. So if I play random, I'll be getting ZVZ very often on this map. Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's not much to say to analyze this map. The Zergs, Terrans or Protosses are gonna veto this map. Like, the map is huge. Look how many attack paths there are. The bases are so spread out and so open that it favors Zerg. I honestly don't see why a Terran or Protoss would play this map against Zerg. There's no reason. Unless you're crazy and you want to go into the late game, which is probably what's going to happen. Basically, because of the map size is so big that you're going to take so long to move across the map that the Zerg will like have another rotation of units. It's not necessarily actually the map size, it's just the counter-attack paths. There's so many of them. I mean, you can take super fast 4 maps if you play mech, so I guess that's good, but I would still avoid playing on this map. Wait, is this a rich gas? Oh, that's interesting. 1 gas, and it's a rich one. Is there any gold bases, by the way? I haven't checked. There's no gold bases on any of the maps, right? There's another rich gas here. That's interesting. I mean, this is good for Terran against Zerg if you want to do mech. But then again, I would compare this to King's Cove. And do you really want to play King's Cove against Zerg? I mean, it feels bigger than King's Cove, actually. And if you play mech against Protoss, I would say this map is pretty good for Terran because you can camp it up on 4 bases into BCs. Other than that, I don't know. I can imagine it's extremely painful to play Protoss on this map against Terran as well because of the Doom drops and base trades and stuff. Is that a mineral wall? Yeah. So you gotta mine through these to get to your third. Which is just... It's not an issue, it's just a thing so that you don't have your natural open from 2 sides. Yeah, I would say this is probably the most like race favored map pool we've seen in a while. Like, I feel like every map has a strict favorite from races. Like, it favors one race, it's bad for one race, and it's okay for one race depending on the matchup. So I think we're gonna see a lot of vetoes, and I think the tournaments are gonna suck a little bit on these maps because you're gonna see a lot of the same matchups on same maps. So you're gonna see, yeah, some guy is screaming outside. Yeah, you guys heard him too. So I think you're gonna see a lot of the same matchups. You're gonna see basically a repeat of the same maps, especially if it's a best of 3 or best of 5. And then when it's a best of 7, you're gonna see really awkward games where Terrans or Protosses or Zergs are just never playing the 1 map or the 2 maps, and they're gonna like knight us all in or prox racks and so on. He didn't like the map. Well, yeah, he was screaming. He's like, That map is so Zerg favored. I don't want to play on it. That's what he said in Serb. But yeah, I don't know. I think the maps are interesting and they're refreshing in a way, but maybe a bit too favored, each one of them. But I guess we're gonna have to see. Again, let me know in the chat what you guys think about the maps. If you think they're good, bad. I'll definitely enjoy playing on them, I think. But again, at the end of the day, we gotta play on them and see how they are instead of just analyze them. But that's kind of like my map review and how I would play on them. Some stuff that I notice you can abuse and so on. Very nice.